Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bella Astrology Podcast. I am your host and astrologer, Ashley. Thank you so much for being with me today. We are stepping into the frequency of Aquarius season. Aquarius season entered on January 19th. And I'm really happy that you are joining me in this episode because what a wild time for us to be alive. Can we just say that? I honestly has been taking me a while to get to the point of where I wanted to record this episode, not having anything to do with Aquarius at all in a bad way. It was just that there's so much to digest, and I've been reading so much and feeling so much. There's a lot going on right now. There is so much going on right now. So thank you for being here. And I really want to invite you to really lean into this episode with me today, because there's a lot to cover, and I really want to convey to you the best way that I can. And I think that's why I've been a little bit behind on putting this out because, well, one, my progressed moon is in Virgo now, and I'm feeling that perfectionism. So I need to nip that in the butt a little bit. Although I welcome this transit, I welcome any Virgo into my life right now. Calling more Virgos into my life. Can you help me, please? I need help. No, I just need that grounding. I need to be so buttoned up and detailed and organized and simplified. And that's what I'm working on right now. And it's a beautiful thing, but it's definitely a stretch for me and all my Sagittarius placements and my Pisces placements and Scorpio placements. So this is a little uncomfortable for Ashley, so I'm glad that you're all witnessing it. I don't know if you tuned into the episode that earlier this week on the new moon in Capricorn. You definitely saw a little bit of that. Things are a little unhinged around here, but grab a cup of coffee and settle in with me. Grab a notebook. You're going to want to take notes. I'm going to be talking dates in this one. Oh my God, that's so good. So side note, I get my coffee out of Idaho, and I love this coffee. Not that there's anything wrong with the coffee around here. Actually, the coffee in town here in Nisswa from Stonehouse, I get their Tiger espresso if I'm ever not able to get this coffee. So this is Haley's coffee out of Idaho. Yes, I order my beans from Idaho, but it's so good. It's so, so good. Shout out to Haley's Coffee and the delicious beans that you make, the full city espresso beans here. But I need all of the caffeine. I need all of the caffeine because one, the solar flares that are happening. Oh, the solar flares that are happening. Probably also why this episode, I'm struggling to get this out. The sun is literally hurling its stuff at us. I know, I get up and I see these beautiful, yesterday morning I got up and I actually woke up and I just saw it from my window, the beautiful auroras. And I was like, oh my gosh, how beautiful. But I feel that. Oh, headaches and just being completely exhausted. All of the planets that have been in Capricorn, now they're moving into Aquarius, but they're still lingering, and having so much Capricorn myself. It's been a lot. It's been a ride. And I know I've been talking to many of you, and I know you're feeling it too. So I really want to slow down for a moment here and just say this season is just, we're not just entering a new sun season. We are really entering a new era. A new era. And this astrology feels so potent right now, and it feels so different. Aquarius season always feels different, but and that's why we love it so much. But this is such a wild time to be alive. If you have been feeling things stirring inside of you lately, it's because I know that you're feeling it too. And if you've been feeling unsettled or agitated, or like something is stirring beneath the surface, you're on the edge of something, a big change is coming, this episode is for you. And I am so excited to share that with you. But first things first, before we even get into that, happy solar return to all of the Aquarians out there. It is your season. It is your moment in the sun, your true remembering, your becoming, and we need you more than ever, Aquarius. So it's also, I don't have her in here because whenever I invite the dogs to record a podcast with me, they absolutely will just, they're naughty. They want their voices heard too. And so they're downstairs in the house right now. But Aura's birthday is on Friday, the 23rd. 1, 2, 3. She'll be 2. She'll be 2 years old, my sweet baby girl, my sweet little Cavalier, King Charles. But if you are celebrating your Aquarius birthday, happy solar return, I want to celebrate you too. And so this is a reminder that you get 15% off any reading that you book with me during your birthday month. This is any season that we're in. If it's your birthday during that season, when you check out, when you book it with me on ashleybelastrology.com, just put in the code word solar return. It's all one word and you get 15% off your reading. It's my little birthday treat for you. Oh, and you know what? That really goes, I just really want to invite all of you. If there is ever, a time to really get grounding and have an astrology reading, I know you've been feeling it. If you're curious about your own astrology, this is such a time to do it. Head over to my website, book with me. Let's talk. Let's look at your chart. And after this episode, you may even be more inspired to do so because this is the true beginning. We are truly starting here. And let's talk about what we're stepping into because this Aquarius season is not arriving quietly. Immediately, we walk into Aquarius season and Pluto opens the door. Okay? It's not subtle. True Aquarius form, but this one's not easing us in. And so there's so many planets that are rushing into the door at the same time. Everyone is ready for change. Everyone is feeling this collective, universal movement into this threshold that we're crossing. And it's literally like a lightning strike. And every astrological season carries with it a tone. This one is carrying with it this amazing frequency, but it is loud. And so let's talk about the sun. So the sun, when the sun shifts, the sun is our sense of identity, our vitality. It is our conscious awareness. And moving into Aquarius, we immediately begin to see things differently. It's like we wake up. It is this time frame of downloads. And you don't just think differently, you live differently. Your routines, your thoughts, your perspectives, the things that are going on around you, this is a lived experience differently. And so every astrological season, as the sun illuminates, it is going through this season and it's highlighting those qualities, those talents, those gifts of that sign that it's moving through. And we all are able to tap into that. Well, oh my word, like there is an usher of planets coming into Aquarius. Everybody wants to be an Aquarius, obviously, but everyone wants to be there right now. And so these next 30 days are a wild ride. And I really want to dive into this today and talk about a lot of the specifics because this Aquarius season is infusing so much more frequency of personal power and brilliance and change than ever before, than we've ever experienced in our lifetime. And we'll never experience it again. Never. And that's wild to think about because the cycle is so big and it's such a moment right now that we'll never, ever experience this again. And so none of this is happening in a vacuum either. We've been building towards this. We just came out of Capricorn season where, we got this grounding, like really got sat down by all of these planets in Capricorn that were like, okay, let's get real for a minute. And I want to prepare you. Capricorn's like, I really want you to be best prepared for when you enter Aquarius season. That I want you to know there are no quick fixes. There's no instant gratification, that you are slowly going to build something. And that's going to be something worth living, worth lasting, something that endures. And it's not about forcing. It's not about these quick fixes. I need you to be persistent. I need you to be committed Because now that we're in Aquarius season, which kind of seems like a paradox because Aquarius is the season of change. And this is not asking you to destroy everything that you just built or start over. This is asking you to live that, but in a way that you've never done it before, because you can't have different results by doing things the same way that you've done before. And so this is where we begin to explore new ways of expressing ourselves, new ways of pushing boundaries and edges, new ways of asking, how does this actually contribute to the future that I'm building, but also the future of the collective, like the world that I want to live in? And so Aquarius amplifies the voice. The season that we're in is amplifying the voice of the rebel, of the visionary, of the innovator, because that's Aquarius. And so it's what's really exciting is if you are starting something new, like you are on the threshold, you have so much of this support around you, around changing. If you're holding a vision, if you're navigating some shifts in your life right now, and you're ready for change, we're not stubborn, we're not white knuckling, we're not holding on to the past. All this last year has been having us shed and let go and get to know ourselves and ground into ourselves. There's so much support right now. It's overwhelming to get you to really connect with your authentic self. And that is going to require to get uncomfortable. And uncomfortable is the name of the game for Aquarius. And so this is an incredibly inspiring season. And maybe it's just my Aquarian. No, it's not just me. It's not just my Aquarian placements that are so ready for this alignment towards the higher self, the authentic self. I want you to get what you want. You should have what they, what is that? I hope they get what they want. I don't know why I'm singing on the podcast all of a sudden. I was singing on the last episode. I need to stop that. No. Okay. Anyway, not diving into that, but I'm just saying that there's so much support around you getting what you want, and you can do it. And it's bringing you back to yourself, your authenticity, to think differently, to notice your mental patterns, the loops, the cycles, the circles, the circles. Yes, living differently and becoming aware of how you relate to yourself and how you relate to the world around you. Okay. And so as we step into this season, you're having this conversation with your future self. Think about that. And what that future self says, though, is that in order to change and meet me, you have to move beyond old paradigms, your old ways of thinking, and get down to the root of why you want this. What do you want to see in the world? Why does that even matter? Do you know? Are you building someone else's timeline? Are you on someone else's timeline? Meaning, are you climbing someone else's ladder? Who are you becoming through the choices that you are making? And really analyze them. Look at them from a different perspective, because the transformation that is happening right now is not small. It's not subtle. And what may begin to surface are your programming. It's this reprogramming. I'm doing so much of course, it's cycles, and not surprised that this is where my mind is right now, but I'm doing so much work with subconscious and subconscious reprogramming. And in order for you to change, you need to let go of that reprogramming. And in the true spirit of Aquarius, you need a reboot. Your habitual ways of thinking. Do you watch your mind? Do you watch your habits, the things that you think about, the stories that you say, the fantasies that you have? Do they have a negative undertone? Are you always winning in those scenarios? Or are you romanticizing being the victim, romanticizing the pain, romanticizing being an underdog? Like, there is so much here about the old paradigms and the old ways of living, the beliefs of who you are. What do you believe is possible for you? What's quote unquote realistic, or what's quote unquote allowed, because Aquarius doesn't care about any of that. It doesn't care about any of that. And so this season is carrying with it this really clear invitation to really stop dimming yourself in in the most Aquarian way. And we get a full moon in Leo, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but these two are really we're building towards that full moon right now. If you're ready to make a change, if there is something that has been building inside of you, this is that season to really act. I told you last month in Capricorn and with the Capricorn new moon and the Cancer full moon that it wasn't so much a time of being. That was a very internal reflective time. Well, that's changing, right? We're changing now. We're swinging the other way. Aquarius brings with it lightning fast downloads. Aquarius brings with it fresh ideas and innovative solutions. And if you have cleared your vessel, if you have grounded, if you have a strong support foundation, if you have your goals, if you know what you want, if the vision has dropped in, you're not here to go about them in the old way. You're here to blaze new trails and to bring your future to you starting right now. Starting right now. And so let's talk about Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, the psyche that we are all moving through right now. Because this is the state of consciousness that we all have access to. The sun's traveling through it. If you have Aquarius placements, they're being activated. A lot of your planets are being activated right now because there's so much activity going on. But Aquarius, if we start with the symbol, the glyph, it's wavy lines. And Aquarius often gets mistaken for as a water sign. It's actually an air sign. And when I look at that glyph, it's electricity, not waves. It's waves. Well, I guess it's electric waves of electricity. It's frequency. It's the invisible waves, because Aquarius lives life and moves through life tuned to other signals that others miss. They're just not tuned into the same frequency as Aquarius, because this Aquarius is a sign of technology and innovation and the unseen in regards to the future, other dimensions. This is collective intelligence. And so the water bearer, that is who this sign is not here to nurture in the way that the image of Aquarius. So if you hold on, is it behind me? Can you see behind me? Where's Aquarius? Where are you? Oh, I only have the water. Oh, you know what? It's only the watering cans, I think. Where is Aquarius? Oh, see. Okay, if you can see this, if you're watching, this is Aquarius. This man here, he's pouring all this water. Oh, that's so nice. It's so refreshing, right? No, that's not what it means. So what this means is that he's not pouring down water for nourishment and nurturing. He's pouring wisdom into the world that he's carried from somewhere else. Ooh, that's so exciting. I love that. I just love that story so much. And Aquarius rules the 11th house. So this is the place in the chart where the individual meets the collective. And this is the area of the chart where we ask, where do I belong? Where and who are my people? And how does what I do impact the rest of the world? And this is your connections with like-minded people, your tribe, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams for the future. And this is also technology, and it's also innovation, the things that connect us and propel us forward towards the future. This is also the realm of humanitarianism. Like I said, making a greater impact for the greater good on the world. And so the 11th house, this encourages us to think beyond ourselves, and connecting the individual to the collective and their community. And I think too that, and this is so, I love this sign. So this is also that connection to the higher mind, the universal field, because this is where that spark of vision, that visionary thinking, where does all of that genius come from? It's the higher mind. This is Aquarius's realm, Aquarius's home. And so we call them the rebels, we call them the revolutionaries, the innovators, because they literally vibrate at a frequency that is so otherworldly that they had to ride the waves of the future to get here. They are the independent, the forward thinking. They don't follow the trends, they set them. They value freedom before anything else. And you're never going to be able to put an Aquarius inside of a box, ever. They're eccentric, they're authentic, and that's their superpower. And these are the beings that are not afraid to stand out. They're here to blaze new trails, and that means they're probably misunderstood, the most misunderstood. And in order to do that, they have to come with some tools in order that allows them to do that. And theirs is this ability to detach. They emotionally detach. And I don't want that to sound like they don't care, because they are deeply caring. It's just different. So they are an air sign, part of the trio of air signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So from that perspective, they are more intellectual than they are emotional. These are signs of the mind. They may come across, or Aquarius may come across as detached, but that's simply because they express through their actions rather than their emotions. There is a tendency to intellectualize and talk about emotions because the realm of Aquarius is up here. And that is tied to that air element, and that can come off as cold or aloof, emotionally unavailable. But this is not, there's a lot of emotional intelligence here. This is the sign of intelligence here. It's just expressed through that different perspective. They're not disconnected. They just process emotions differently. They actually help others process their emotions because they have this ability to detach from being swept up in it. Like they can see it from a different perspective, bring in clarity. Sometimes it just need that, like, gosh, I welcome that a lot. Can something help me like detach from my emotions right now? Thank God it's Aquarius season. Sorry, I digress. But this is a sign that has emotional boundaries. And they understand how important that is. They can detach from the drama, detach from codependency, and they see things for how they truly are without being blurred by the feeling realm, without losing themselves in that. And they're able to really channel their emotions. They channel them. And so they, well, let's elaborate that on that channeling perspective. Um, so they channel those emotions into something else. They channel them into ideas, into causes, into solutions. And this is why they become advocates for change, because they take all of those emotional undercurrents and transform them into actions and beliefs for the greater good. So we have to look at their planetary ruler. We have to talk about Uranus. I love talking about Uranus. I am a daughter of Uranus. So this is the planet of sudden insights, radical change, and innovation. And it's the planet of future thinking and technology and extraterrestrial intelligence, all of those things. And so this is energy that we're talking about here that's not limited by the human experience. It reaches the unknown, it goes beyond our earthly realms. And this is a channel of that higher wisdom. So here we have where all of that, where did Aquarius get all their wisdom that they are pouring down onto us to teach us a better way to live? That's why Aquarius feels like they're not part of this world. It's because they're not. And thank goodness, because we need that. We need that fresh perspective. For the love of God, somebody please come and share with us the wisdom on how we fix this. How do we live, reform our systems and new ideas and propel ourselves towards growth and evolution? Aquarians are the souls that are ahead of their time. And for me, my relationship with this sign is that I'm very Aquarian. Didn't realize that until I studied astrology. Thank you very much. But I'm a sun in Pisces. I'm a sun in Scorpio, moon in Pisces, rising Sagittarius. But I have Uranus conjunct my rising 1 degree in my first house, which means that my identity, who I am, how I present myself, I am infused with this Aquarius energy. It's part of what I'm also becoming because it is infused with my rising sign. Because your rising sign is what you're stepping into, what you're rising into. And yes, I'm Sagittarius, but there's a lot of Aquarius in there too. I also have Venus in the 11th house of Aquarius. So there's that. And Jupiter is in Aquarius in my chart. So there's a lot of this Aquarius Uranian 11th house energy that I possess. And outside of outside of constantly feeling like misunderstood or feeling like I am looking at life literally from the outside in, like um I I do love this part of me. I do love that permission that I can give myself, that I didn't come here to do things like everybody else, that I do have this, my knowing comes from somewhere, and I know this, and I, in the best way, get to live life on my own terms. Surprise isn't the right word, but like, actually we all do. Surprise, we all get to do that, but I get to lead that charge. If it's me that inspires you to do that, then I have, as an Aquarian child, I have done my job. And so if you have strong Uranus placements, if you have strong Aquarian placements, let me just share with you a little bit about us, about your Aquarian friends, about you, if that's you. This experience, we all get to tap into this archetype as the sun is traveling through Aquarius. So we all get to connect with this, but having this archetype brings a strong sense of individuality. There is this feeling that you're not fitting in. You can't fit in. You're misunderstood. And that's intentional. But that's really hard in a world where our roles in society are traditional, to fit into the norms, the social norms, to climb the same ladder, take the same paths that our parents and their parents' parents and our neighbors and the teachers and everybody is doing the same thing. That can feel totally isolating and uncomfortable until you realize that when you study astrology, that you were never meant to do that, by the way. If you need that permission, you are your own unique style. You are ahead of the time. And you know what? The rest of the world, they're just catching up. They're just catching up. And that's something that needs to be celebrated. Now, the frequency, the Uranian influence here, there's that bit of unpredictability and unpredictability in your identity a little bit. You're constantly evolving. You're constantly evolving. And this won't go away ever. Because you didn't come here to stay stagnant. You didn't come here to just pick a lane and stay in it. And this may lead to struggles with consistency, because one day you're drawn to something, you're excited about something, and then the other day it feels restrictive. But this can cover relationships, careers, all of the things. And these sudden shifts, you need excitement. You need to be stimulated. There's a frenetic undercurrent that lives underfoot, and you came here to create change. And what's really interesting, there's a paradox here. There is a paradox here because Aquarius is a fixed air sign. Fixed air sign. Everything that we've talked about Aquarius is change, revolution, like fast change. But it's a fixed sign. Wait a minute. Taurus? It's like Taurus? Like I pick one lane and one foot in front of the other, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna stick with this until I ride this out type of fixed energy. Yeah, but in a different way, of course. So it means that as a fixed air sign, it means that Aquarius thrives in the realm, air, ideas, communication, intellectual exploration. But the fixed sign, part of it, is steady in that. Makes Aquarians determined and resistant to change for no good reason. So let me elaborate on that. So Aquarius is known as the visionary and the change maker. And where the fixed part comes in is their unwavering commitment to that, to their ideals, to their vision for the future. Because once an Aquarius believes something and holds that belief with conviction, you're never going to change their minds. Try. They will love that. Aquarius would love to go toe to toe in any type of arguments, try to change their minds. But being this fixed air element gives them this flexibility, this mental flexibility and ability to think of different ideas, driving them to utilize them to seek progress, to seek change, and imprint that on outdated systems, things that actually need to change, envisioning a better way. So it's not that they're just being stubborn for stubborn's sake, but they're not impulsive about change. They're very committed to it. It's intentional. This deep belief that they need to evolve, but they will resist change if it's meaningless, if it's chaotic, but will commit to anything that has to do with doing it better. And we all know that saying that those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. And this teaches us that true change requires consistency. There's that paradox. It's fixed air. Lasting change doesn't come from something that's fleeting and chaotic. It comes from this unwavering commitment to progress. And I think that is what we started in Capricorn season, and now we've evolved it into an Aquarian mindset. But just because this is an air sign, don't think that Aquarius is just like, I'll go with the flow, whatever, I'll go with the flow. No, this is fixed. This is fixed air. Their ideas are pretty set in stone, and good luck changing their beliefs. Okay, I said it. But anyway, that is a little taste of this Aquarian archetype. Now, we need that energy. We need that season. We need this season of change. We have to evolve. Now I really want to take some time and talk about the astrology. The astrology, and I want to take you on this journey with me because there's a lot going on, and I'll do my best to summarize this. And so this is where, if you want to write some dates down and follow with me, let's do it. But all of this happening during Aquarius season is so timely. It's so electric. It's a bit disruptive. But we're going towards the future. We're starting a new chapter. The world will not look the same after we go into this season because everything is changing. This will be a mark in the calendar that we will look back on and say that that's the beginning of when everything started to change. And it's a recalibration of our consciousness. gosh, personal and collective. That feels really heavy. And I'm not a doomsday astrologer. We're all part of this journey. We all chose to be here. This is what our lives are, but it really helps to ground into what's happening. So starting off, the sun moved into Aquarius on January 19th. Immediately with the sun, Venus decided to come too. And like I said, when they jumped into Aquarius, Pluto was right there. And so this is truth in love and power and desire. So right away, we almost started the season with a confrontation. Not really a celebration, I would say confrontation. Pluto and Venus on the day that the sun entered Aquarius, this is not a surface level connection. This is a truth, because Pluto is truth, a truth exposure. And this meeting up is where relationships, values, desires, money, creativity, all of the places in life that we seek pleasure and validation, they get stripped to their core. Oof, yeah. Anything that is sustained by convenience or casualness, fantasy, self-betrayal begins to fall away. And so right away, we're confronted with these ideas, these questions of, am I choosing this or am I tolerating this? Am I investing in energy, my energy, or am I just leaking it? Is this connection nourishing me, or is it costing me my power? Aquarius doesn't do half-hearted devotion. It's very black and white. Pluto doesn't allow dishonesty. And so what remains here will go the distance. It's not to eradicate all, it's just to allow anything that's shallow, that's performative, that is misaligned, that is dissolving. It's dissolving. And so, yes, that can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for the greater good, for your greater good. Liberating, right? Then on January 20th, Mercury moves into Aquarius. And this is the mental initiation. Here comes the mind. Mercury is the planet of the mind. Again, meeting up with Pluto right away. This is a mental initiation like we haven't seen. Again, I just think of all of this happening when the solar flares are happening and we're entering Aquarius season. We're talking about the mind. We're talking about the future. We're talking about frequency. It's amazing. And from January 20th to January 23rd, we have Mercury Cazimi. So Mercury and the sun meet up. Mercury and Pluto then meet up. And then Pluto and the sun meet up. This is not casual thinking. This is not casual feeling. This is the kind of astrology that once you see something, you can't unsee it. What is revealed is lasting. The conversations that arise that change you, that transform you, that information that changes your worldview, that can bring truths to the surface to you and around you, internally, externally, that really alter your sense of self and what you want, your role in this life, your future. Our thoughts become this initiation. Our words can be spells. And pay attention to what is capturing your attention these days. What are you feeling? Because there's a lot going on. This is all for you, but you got to be open to it and pay attention to what rattles you. Pay attention to what just won't let you go. There are so many triggers here. The mind is being rewired for the future. So I told you, if you're feeling it, there's a reason. There is a reason. This is it. Now, on January 23rd, Mars enters Aquarius. And this is very interesting on a world perspective. So this is revolution. This is truly revolution energy. And I live in Minnesota. And I don't listen, I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news, but I'm not naive to what's happening in my area of the country. And on January 23rd, there is a shutdown. And this is all in the name of revolution. This is the collective that says, what are you fighting for and why? And with Mars meeting Pluto this season, this is truly a rupture. There will be confrontation, power struggles, but I do believe that there is this, it's not for chaos' sake. This is not just for chaos. This is for the greater good, but the intensity is spiking. And it's a conscious disruption. It's a responsible conscious disruption that choosing change that serves the future is on the menu. Like that is there. It's not just about pent up rage, and there is a leadership. There's so much leadership energy, but not of the old kind. This is time for a new regime, a new paradigm, and time for leadership that listens and that adapts, that acts with awareness. And I'll tell you why that is that is why it is set up that way when I'm talking about leadership and I'm talking about a new paradigm, because one of the most significant pieces of astrology that's happening on January 26th is that Neptune is moving into Aries for the rest of our lives. We'll never experience Neptune in Pisces, you and I, in this physical body that I have, you have, in this lifetime. We'll probably experience it in a different body, but it won't be this one. And Neptune entering Aries, I've talked about this in previous podcasts, but I think this is the fog of the warrior. This is where I want to slow this down a little bit, but Neptune entering Aries, I've heard so much talk about the rise of the spiritual warrior. And while I think that sounds so sexy, I think that's a little bit incomplete, because I just experienced Neptune in Pisces as on the most conscious level, and the most conscious I've been my whole life, tuned in to watching and listening. When I became an astrologer, when I started really dialing into why these things were happening, I've lived through what Neptune does when it moves through a sign. And wherever Neptune goes, there's a fog. And yes, there's beauty there. There's softness, there's imagery, there's dreams, there's beautiful things, creativity and love, but there's also illusion. There's also fogginess, mystery, the uncertainty. And so I think when Neptune moves through Aries, which Aries is a sign of action and aggression and motivation and war, those themes don't become clear now. They become confusing. And leadership becomes hard to define. Motivation becomes less linear. And aggression loses its sharp edges. And for me, the beauty in that is it actually, I think, feminizes Aries. And I think that is so powerful. I think that's so beautiful, because it's a shift away from focus into flow, away from domination towards total surrendering, and away from conquest to this embodied intuition. And all of those, total flow, surrendered, embodied intuition, are all feminine qualities. And I think that is so needed. And we're talking about change. We're talking about revolution. This is a total new paradigm. And the question becomes not what you're fighting for, but what are you willing to let move through you? Oh, my goodness. Okay, then more on that. I'll probably do a deep dive on Neptune and Aries. Again, I did one last year because Neptune tiptoed into Aries, gave us a little taste. And oh my God, I could tell you what happened when Neptune moved into Aries and then went back into Pisces. I always say this, you cannot make this shit up. But now Neptune is going to be in Aries forever, forever are not this consciousness. February 1st, we have the full moon in Leo. And this full moon really asks then for that embodiment, in that what has been waking you up in your mind throughout Aquarius season drops down into the heart. This is self-courage. This is creative courage. This is self-expression without an apology. It's refusing to dim yourself to make others comfortable. It's leading with your heart. It's really showing up in your most authentic self, boldly being proud of what you're creating. Oops, sorry, I'm touching the microphone. Even if it's still forming, if it hasn't come to fruition yet, it's this fire in your heart. It's soul leadership, soul forward leadership of the self. So that's going to be a powerful full moon on February 1st. February 3rd, Uranus goes direct. Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, has been in retrograde since September. So the stall that you have been feeling since September around money, security, your physical body, physically feeling stuck, your values, stability, all of that, now the ground begins to really shift. really shift. And momentum returns, clarity returns here, and change is happening. Anything that is unstable now, you've been asked to really pause and recognize that anything unstable can no longer be avoided. And this is where change becomes inevitable, and where your insight that you now will receive is where you take action. And so, speaking of action, speaking of intuition and action, so February 6th, Mercury then moves into Pisces, and then shortly after February 10th, Venus moves into Pisces. And so this is where our intuition becomes a language. This is, with Neptune in Aries, and now Neptune rules Pisces, and now we have Mercury and Venus coming into Pisces. Here we have some softening, some logic and intuition, integration. I'm talking about this embodiment, this feeling of your future, a lot around your intuition and dreams, letting yourself really feel, and a very heightened intuition time frame. Now, when we reach February 13th, here comes the other really important astrology of our lifetime. Saturn moves into Aries as well. So Saturn follows Neptune into Aries and says, okay, they've been traveling together through Pisces. They've been traveling together through Pisces, recalibrating your dreams, your beliefs. And now Saturn in Aries says, okay, let's make this real. It's time for action. Saturn moving into Aries is all about action. This is disciplined courage. This is responsibility for your desires. This is committing to a new way of acting. And that could be really intense, but with Neptune there, it's not ruled by rage. It's not urgency. It's not ego. It's softened. And Aquarius season is giving us this bridge between our vision and embodying that in our future and bringing that here, the dream that we have and responsibility of taking action on that and making that real. It's having inspiration and follow through. This is, like I said, what a wild time to be alive. Now, February 17th, I'm not done yet. February 17th, we have a solar eclipse happening in Aquarius. We're starting eclipse season. During all of this, eclipse are portals. They close chapters that we didn't know that we were finished with. They initiate paths that we don't fully see yet. And this Aquarius solar eclipse is seeds of a new vision for you. It's not the sameness. It's not a landscape that you will recognize. It is where you truly belong. It's putting you where you truly need to be. And what is so amazing about that is this is also the lunar new year. You guys, this is when we start the year of the fire horse. We've been talking about this. You can't not hear about this, that we are now officially ending the year of the snake and entering the year of the fire horse. Of course we are during Aquarius season. Why would we not? This is passion without hesitation. Literally, it's a fire horse, you guys. Momentum without an apology. During Aquarius season, it's forward motion. We are not looking back. You cannot go back. Trust what is shifting. Trust, even if you don't understand it. This is all for our greater good. And so then February 18th, the sun enters Pisces. We'll pick this up with the Pisces episode. So that's a lot. There's a lot happening. I mean, Uranus stationing direct during Aquarius season. Yep, that's going to be felt. Eclipse season beginning. Hello. If you're Aquarius and Leo, come talk to me. This is your eclipse portal. This is your time frame, the next year and a half. We're focusing on you. These eclipses are happening for you, and this is where radical change comes from. This is where timelines collapse. This is where you are put where you're supposed to be. And let's talk about that. Let's see how this is showing up for you. Virgo, Pisces, you've been going through it, so you can tell the Aquarius Leos how the last year and a half has been for you. But it's not chaos for chaos sake. I mean, there's so much planetary change. All of the outer planets are really shifting and it's supporting this change. Neptune entering Aries, Saturn entering Aries. Pluto's been in Aquarius for a while, but stays there for so long that it's just in its infancy, still in this sign of Aquarius. It is a time of liberation, a time of change. And Aquarius is not going to ask for permission. Thank you. And moves where it needs to be. So as we move through this season, I want to leave you with this. Aquarius came here to disrupt, to awaken, to imagine a different, better future and build it. And during this season, we all have access to that frequency. We need your authenticity. We need your voice. We need your vision. Now more than ever. Actually, just now is the time. This is the time. And the future is created by those who are bold enough to imagine it. Woo! Oh, you guys, thank you so much for spending time with me today. I know this is a longer episode than I normally do, but I had so much I wanted to share with you. If this episode resonated with you, I would love if you would share it. Give it a like, give it a share. Likes and shares help me grow on this platform, all these platforms, but also anyone who you think could use this insight, could use this message, a little grounding, a little bit clarity as to why and how and when all of this is happening. And of course, as always, if you would like help navigating during this time, I am here for you. Also, if you are local, if you're in the Brainerd Lakes area, I'm hosting a solar eclipse sound bath on the day of the solar eclipse, February 17th at Divine North. And this is going to be a space for us to rest and recalibrate, receive, and really integrate during this potent, powerful portal. So I invite you to that. Tickets for that are available on my website. Go to ashleybelastrology.com. It's under additional offerings. And if you are in Minneapolis in the next couple of weeks, on January 24th, I am hosting Astrology and Wine Night at Troubadour in Uptown. And then Valentine's, I'll be back at Troubadour on Valentine's night. What fun we are going to have. We're going to sip astrology, but we are also going to sip your love language. What? It's going to be so fun. So Astrology and Wine Night, February 14th at Troubadour as well, because wine is better when it's aligned with the stars. It just is, trust me. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I have so many updates, so many events happening, ways to connect with me, and of course all my reflections and event details. Until next time, stay wild, stay free, and trust in the magic of becoming. From my heart to yours, bye for now.